Hey you guys, welcome to All Thingz Jazzy. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. You guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I made these braised beef short ribs. They are so juicy and so tender. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so starting off, I have my meat that I have already cleaned. It's all ready to go. So I am just seasoning it with a bunch of salt and some garlic powder and some black pepper as well. I'm just going to go ahead and massage that in with my hands, of course. You can use gloves if you want to, but I have no issue with disinfecting my hands afterwards. But you also want to make sure you disinfect your hands before. So I'm just going to massage that in just to make sure that all of it gets seasoned because we do not want plain food, okay? So I have some flour here, and I'm just going to take each of these and cover each side or coat each side with some flour so we can get them prepared and ready to cook. Okay, so now that we have them all covered, I am going to be cooking with olive oil. So I'm just adding some extra virgin olive oil to my pan. I heated it up. Y'all didn't see that portion, but heat up your oil, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just adding in each portion of the short ribs that is coated in flour. And what we want to do is make sure that each side gets cooked. So we're not cooking to the middle is done. We're just making sure that they're cooked on the outside, that they're braised, that they're brown, that they are flavorful. So you're going to want to flip your meat over, and some of them you have to, not some of them, all of them you will have to flip to the side to make sure that the sides get cooked as well. So I did cook mine 3 minutes on each side, front and back, and then the sides I just did about a minute or so for those to get browned. So after you have browned each side, you want to take those out and just set them to the side while we prepare the sauce. So I am just adding mine to a plate so that we can get the sauce prepared. Okay, so to prepare my sauce, I am not removing anything from the pan. I am going to add some butter. So I added a tablespoon and a half. And then I have some chopped onions and I have some chopped bell peppers. You can use carrots, you can use celery. You can use whatever you want for your sauce mixture, but I used what I had in the fridge. So I am just going to go ahead and mix those up, and then I will add some seasonings to it. Okay, so for the seasonings, I am adding a bunch of garlic because I absolutely love garlic. You can use fresh garlic, but I just use some garlic powder, and I'm also adding in some basil. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix that up, and then I'm going to add in some red cooking wine. You can use any red wine that you choose. I would recommend that it's not too sweet, but I am using some red cooking wine, and I did eyeball that, but it was about a cup. Okay, and then now I'm going to add in 1 can of tomato sauce. I have used chopped tomatoes for this recipe before, and it was really good. But I added in some tomato sauce and some Italian seasoning, and then I'm adding in some broth that I made with some bouillon cubes, of course. But I added in some chicken broth, and I added some liquid smoke and some Worcestershire. I always butcher that word, side sauce. And so I added that in. And once it became to a boil, I went ahead and now I'm going to add all the meat back in. And I'm just going to move it around and make sure all of them gets covered with the juice. And I'm going to put my lid on and we're going to cook it for 3.5 hours. All right, you guys, so after 3.5 hours, the house is smelling extraordinary. So good. So I'm just going to move it all around. And as you can see, these are nice and tender. Now your stuff may be different. You may need to go 4 hours, 5 hours, but for me it was just 3.5, and this meat is breaking apart. Like if you stick a fork into it, it's just coming apart. So I decided to cook some potatoes, so I will link a video above on how I make my fried potatoes, and that's what we're eating with it. Okay, so as you can see, it is so tender. It is still very juicy. The sauce is so good. I recommend putting a lot of sauce. My son needed some macaroni, so this is his plate. And you guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.